The award-winning Tennessee Wildcast is on the air with the latest on hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. Make welcome your host, drummer and outdoor expert novice, Jason Harmon.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee Wildcast. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being with us today. I'm excited about today's show. We're going to learn a lot about a new thing to me. It's called huntingroots.com to Hunting Roots Camp, and it's a new thing that I just learned about and happy to promote it. There's going to be an event here in the Nashville area around Dixon coming up in March. So we've got Mr. Brodie Swisher with us. He's on Zoom today, so if you're watching, you'll see him on the screen, and we appreciate him being with us, and we're going to cover a lot of stuff. So, Brodie, thanks for being with us.
Hey, guys, thank y'all so much for the opportunity. Good to be with y'all today, and again, just appreciate the chance to jump on and talk about what we all love so much.
Yeah, hunting, outdoors. If you've watched this show, you know that's what we're all about, fishing and just getting outside. So that's what we're going to talk about today, a little bit of everything. But first, I wanted to do our normal radio station highlight that we've been doing here lately. And
we're kind of rounding the corner and getting back on the lap cars now. We're going back and repeating some of our favorite stations, and one of those being right close to home here, WSM, right in Nashville, 650 AM.
Yep.
Home of the Grand Ole Opry and home of Wildcast Extra every day, 5:50, on the drive home time, and then on the weekends on Saturdays for our full show. So anyway, we appreciate all our radio partners, and just a shout out to WSM today.
Yeah, WSM's great. If you're grew up around Nashville or in the Nashville area or like country music, you know that station.
Exactly, right.
Yeah, we're just thrilled to be on it. Another thing I want to make sure we don't miss out on is our e-store. There's a lot of stuff out there in our e-store to pick up, little TWRA swag. So make sure you visit shop.gooutdoorstennessee.com for anything Tennessee wildlife outdoors gear. And always adding new hats. Hats are very popular, so we add those very frequently, but there's also a lot of cool stuff there to check out.
Check out the latest models. You'll appreciate it.
And one more thing, this is awesome. Licenses now are it's a 365 license from the date of purchase.
As of yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday,
so,
the 18th.
Yeah. So you can buy your hunting license anytime this year, and it's going to take you through 365 days of hunting and fishing.
Man, for so many years, I would have people come up to me and say, "Hey, why don't you do that?" You know what? And there was always a good reason. I can't remember it right off the top of my head, but the powers that be always told me, there's a good reason for that, and it has to do with federal funds and matching dollars and this and that. And my eyes would glaze over, and I'd just walk away. But anyway, they've seen clear to make those changes, and I think it's great for everybody.
It benefits a lot of people, especially those folks who are new to the outdoors or new to hunting. Or if you want to take somebody with you,
exactly,
and you say, "Hey, let's go deer hunting." Well, I don't have my license. Well, get your license now, and it'll last through the next year. Maybe you go hunt a few days the next year too on the same license.
Yeah, and if it was the first week in February and you were going to go small game hunting, you go, "Oh man, it's only going to last 28 days."
It's going to expire.
So not so anymore. So that's great.
Yeah, so that's great. Yeah. So do that. Get your license. Make sure you hit the auto renew button, because that's always handy, so you don't forget to renew it.
Makes it easy. Makes it real easy.
And I got my notice just the other day. It said, "Hey, your license is about to renew." So I'll be legal come a few days. But anyway, let's jump into it. Brodie, I appreciate you contacting us, reaching out to us. I'm excited to learn about this camp that you're going to put on, and then we'll dive into some of the other stuff that you're into and get to know you a little more. But let's just kick it off with what Hunting Roots Camp is, and a little bit about Hunting Roots, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, I was glad to reach out to you guys, and had seen a number of shows and heard of different shows that you guys put on, and seen some different colleagues and stuff on as guests with you guys. So I knew you got a great program there, and it's just a great opportunity to reach out. I thought we can spread the word and talk a little more about what Hunting Roots and our camp, turkey camp's all about. And so it's a good deal to be able to connect with you guys today. But the camp is just that. It's a turkey camp, turkey hunting camp, preseason camp. A lot of people are like, "Hey, we're going to be able to hunt. We're going to be killing turkeys." And it's not that type of turkey camp. This is a preseason teach and train event. This is a weekend, Friday afternoon, all day Saturday, wrapping up late Sunday morning. a weekend full of everything turkey hunting, and we're just going to cram it all in there. In the past, we've done bow hunter camps in the summer to get kids ready for deer season. And turkey season, spring season is just such an exciting time of year. It was just kind of a no-brainer. We thought, man, we need to add a camp to get people fired up for turkey season. Do it the weekend or two before the youth season kicks off in Tennessee, and have this camp that's, again, for the first timer, it's something that's going to prepare them for their first turkey hunt. For the person that's been going for a long time, but maybe been turkey hunting for a few years, just to help them hone their skills, sharpen their skills, or just get them fired up for open day. It's kind of that pep rally. It's that weekend just to get everybody fired up for opening day of turkey season. And it's all turkey from Friday to Sunday. It's going to be a great time.
Well, turkey hunting and turkey season is exciting. I mean, it's a lot different than deer hunting.
Yeah.
It's similar maybe to duck hunting because there's a lot of calling involved and things like that. But it's exciting to get to put the call in your hand or the mouth call or whatever you're using and work those turkeys and chase them down and try to find them and set up. And there's a lot that goes into it. So that's going to be great for those kids to learn all the different aspects of what goes into this season.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And that's just it. We're going to have those call-in demonstrations, call-in seminars. Each kid will have their own calls. Whether they bring in their calls, we'll furnish calls for them as well. So they'll get lots of giveaways, prizes, goodies, and gear. But again, we'll be teaching those calls, again, helping them learn the basics of calls. Some of those kids will come in and have never put a call in their mouth. Hopefully at the end of the weekend, they're going to walk away with at least making some noise that'll drive mom and dad crazy or something. But all those game calling, we're going to teach them how to pattern a turkey target, shoot that shotgun, pattern that shotgun, see how it works, the good, the bad, the ugly on that. Scouting, using Onyx mapping to navigate and scout and define property and figure out land ownership and all those different variables. Again, just really have them walk away at the end of the camp with a really a strong knowledge of and confidence of being able to go out and with a friend, family member, whoever, and hold their own in the turkey woods and have a good grip on what it's all about.
Well, speaking of friends and family, is it open to parents to come along, or is it the kids drop the kids off and let them have a good weekend? How's that work?
Yeah, this is primarily just for the kids, boys and girls aged 10 to 15. We do have some parents that have volunteered, said, "Hey, I'm an avid turkey hunter. It's what we do," and that have said, "Can I come on as a volunteer?" And we're opening up opportunities for volunteers that we can look into those people and check them out and put some good quality folks, avid turkey hunters, to work that weekend. And so there's some opportunities from that standpoint. But for the most part, other than that, this is a drop them off Friday afternoon at check-in and registration, and pick them up Sunday before lunch, and we'll be doing it to it.
Awesome. So if you're looking for a good babysitter and need a weekend away,
no. That's right. That's right.
No better way to get some kids outdoors and take some time away off. No, I'm joking, but anyway, yeah, this sounds like a great time to get kids out there, introduce them to the sport of turkey hunting, and I'm excited to hear more about it and see some of the stuff happen and learn more about it. But something we haven't mentioned, huntingroots.com, that's where you'll go sign up, right? Get more information?
That's right. Huntingroots.com is the website, and they can just go to the shop tab, click on the shop tab there, and it'll take them to some different things we have, from merchandise and some apparel and different things, but also the camp there. They can shop the different camps we've got and select the camp and find out details about that. You'll see turkey camps as well as bow hunter camps. So they just click on that turkey camp button, and that'll take them to all the information to tell about details. They can go and sign up right there and pay their fee right there. Everything's really super simple. Find out the information they need, secure their spot for their child right there at huntingroots.com.
Good deal. And like we mentioned earlier, it's in Dixon this year in Tennessee. So March 11th through the 13th in Dixon. And then you're also hosting one in Mississippi on March 4th through the 6th. Is that correct?
Yeah, the weekend before we'll be down in Mississippi. And so it's going to be the same event down in Mississippi, different venue, obviously, but it's going to be great. So the folks down in that area, we've done the bow hunter camps down there. So we've gotten a good group of folks that we've been able to build a network with, and just there's some, like Tennessee, Mississippi's got some avid hunters, deer hunters, turkey hunters, and just a lot of fun, those guys down there.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that group. I'll be down in Lawrence Mississippi at Tanglewood Camp. Just a beautiful facility. And same deal all weekend long, Friday to Sunday. Going to be hammering away, talking turkeys. And so that'd be a great time for anybody in that Mississippi area. If you're close, we open it up. You don't have to live in Mississippi. Somebody from Alabama wants to drive over and be a part, Louisiana, whatever, come on over. If you can get there, we'd love to have them. And we've told several folks, they said, hey, I've got school till whatever. I've got an after school. Come when you can. It doesn't matter if you get there later that evening or whatever. We've got a place for you, and it's going to be a great time.
What's a sellout for you, Brodie? I mean, how many can you accommodate at each of these?
Yeah, so right at the Mississippi camp, we are a little bit more limited on space as far as that goes. We'll have probably 25. We might can squeeze 30 in that particular lodge. So a little more restricted. That's why that's just boys only on that particular camp in Mississippi. Here in Tennessee, we've got the facility. It's wide open, and we've got separate lodging for boys and girls. And so we've got all kind of space from there. So we really don't have any restrictions on space for that. But for the most part, we do try to keep those even still, in that 20 to 30. We've had 40 kids before come. But we try to keep these as a smaller group setting. Again, just so we can have the time we need with staff to students, that ratio, and keep it where they have the time they need, for that learning, for instruction. And 'cause that's what we want at the end of the weekend. We want to come away as buddies, as friends, hunting partners, not just a number. 100 kids come through. We don't have a clue who's been there this weekend. We want to leave as friends and hunting buddies, like I said, at the end of the weekend. And so we try to do that with that smaller setting. And
sounds like they're not going to feel intimidated to ask questions and get involved. That's good.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing. We want it to be, again, something that the beginner can walk in and or the person that's been hunting a few years. We've got some boys that 15-year-old boys that'll be there that have got some turkeys under their belt, and there's going to be opportunities and different things for them, and they're going to learn and get some great instruction. But it's also designed for that younger person that walks in, that boy, that girl that's never hunted, doesn't have a clue, and we're not going to create an atmosphere where they do feel intimidated or they can't ask that question.
Right,
So it's perfect setup for, again, regardless of where you come in the game, we've got a great program for them.
Awesome. Well, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the Hunting Roots Camp that Brodie Swisher is putting on. He's part of huntingroots.com. He also has a podcast out there. I'm anxious to hear more about that. I'd learn a little bit more about the podcast. How did that get started? And really, how did Hunting Roots get started? That sounds like it's a neat name. It's neat to get into the roots of hunting,
Yeah, man. No, that's kind of it for me. I started looking back in the last several years, just what we've done over the years with camps, and we started doing these back in early 2000s, started a camp right here in Paris, Tennessee, and it's still going today. And just outreach to kids. And but that was kind of the thing. We got looking back and, early days back in the late 90s, teaching hunter education classes. And we go to churches and put on these hunter ed classes for the state. And I work with some of your crew there and teach across West Tennessee. And then just took off from there, again, going into camps and clinics and doing seminars at wild game dinners at churches or whatever it may be. And just kind of looking back, it's, we saw the opportunity, and that's kind of what we've done, is just help people establish their roots as a hunter, create and build and grow hunters. That's kind of been the platform over the years through camps and, again, game dinners, outdoor expos, seminars. And then, of course, when my kids started coming on, I've got 4 kids of my own now from ages 9 to 18. And, and so, again, it was just kind of the thing of sharing our story, be it YouTube or telling the stories. And I'm an outdoor writer as well. And so I love to tell the story, and I love those stories of the past and how I got started. And my whole outdoor writing career really began telling the story of my first duck hunt, and here in West Tennessee, Springville Bottoms. And so that's kind of the deal for me, is just sharing the story, my roots, where it came from. And that's where the Hunting Roots name came from. It's just that, man. These are our hunting roots, helping people establish those. The older folks have been around the block a time or two, letting them dig back to their roots and just tell the story and telling the other side of the story. So that's kind of where the program and the name came about for Hunting Roots.
Awesome. I love that. That's awesome. And then
I was thinking earlier about how many stories would be floating around during these sessions and in between the sessions, over these workshops. It'd be pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of good campfire stories.
Yeah.
And talking about being out in the woods. And I'm sure you didn't pick this up late in life. You've probably been an outdoorsman all your life. I mean, you probably had somebody that taught you the way, you know?
That's right.
Yeah. So you've been out there since an early age?
Yeah, for me, it started with my dad. Took me out. We grew up outside of Memphis, Tennessee there, and just had a desire, and it really wasn't in my family. He'd done a lot of small game hunting when he was younger, but the rest of my family didn't really hunt, and it just wherever it came from was born. I think we're all born with that inside of us as a hunter, and it's just built within us, God given, inside of us, and so it came out in me in a big way. And my dad took us squirrel hunting behind the house back when I was probably 7, 8 years old. And, introduced me to that, and I watched 2 squirrels shot that morning. He had shot 2 squirrels that morning, and watched those fall, and just that memory of that, just kind of the respect for life, and seeing a squirrel fall, and just kind of that, seeing how quick and fragile life is, and experience the whole life and death process. And I was fascinated, somewhat terrified, just the whole process, again, life and death, and just realizing how powerful that gun was. And and just one morning hunt here in West Tennessee changed my life. Just again, a fascination with Stoke that morning right there with my dad, and then it went on to deer hunting. Killed my first deer when I was 11, and
awesome.
Again, just another time that just changed my life. Just friends and family, just opening that opportunity, and that's what I tell people all the time, man. Don't miss out on those opportunities to introduce a child, because like me, there's a lot of kids that it will truly change their life, not just a sport or a hobby, but something that they grow into as a lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah, or even take them into a career in wildlife or something like that.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know where it'll lead you.
That's right.
That's the thing about turkey hunting too. It's I don't want to say it's less intense, because it certainly has its intense moments, but logistically speaking, it's a whole lot more accessible, I'd say, to take a newcomer out, as opposed to, the intricacies of a tree stand and safety harnesses and a lot of the things that you have to do initially for deer hunting in a lot of cases. But a lot of those aren't a factor in turkey hunting, and it's just a little bit more accessible in my mind, and you get, and like you were talking, Brodie, you get that time alone in the blind or wherever you're holed up, waiting on those birds to whisper a lot of wisdom, tell some stories while you're waiting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there is no better time. I love the fall season, but man, there's just something special about spring. Everything's coming back to life, and the green up's taking place. And like you said, Don, it's a warmer season. The weather's typically beautiful. Yeah. And it's just a great time to introduce somebody. Again, you're not having to wear harnesses to worry about falling out of tree stands, or it has its fair share of hazards, but they're much fewer and farther between. Turkey season, just a great time to introduce somebody. But again, the weather's comfortable, and just a fascination of hearing a turkey gobble. I know that sounds crazy. People don't get it. My wife doesn't understand how that's so fascinating, but the gobble of a wild turkey on a cool spring morning, it's just an amazing deal, and something everybody ought to experience. And it's a great time to get someone involved. If you're not in the action, get up and keep moving. So it's a great opportunity for young people with short attention spans, older people like me with short attention spans, to get out there and keep moving, enjoy it, and just a beautiful time of year.
Yeah, it definitely will fire you up when that gobbler just lets it rip. It's when you hear that, you're like, there he is. Let's get set up. Let's go.
Not to mention all the other wildlife you'll see when you're out there.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's going to be cool about these events, is they're timed to be that week or two before the season kicks off, and so we've got at both the venues, we've got the camp setting in such a place that that'll be part of our activities. We're going to get up early in the morning and go out across the property in different teams and listen for those turkeys, and have some different games and competitions to see who can hear the most, and record those on their phone and different things. And so it's going to be fun to see, and hopefully hear some birds popping off that week or two before season.
That's cool. Yeah, let's dive a little bit deeper into some of those classes, just to let people know what they're gonna do. So that's a cool part. You mentioned pattern guns. I guess they'll be shooting live fire and all that, right? Get your hands on in that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we want them to, again, just to eliminate all those red flags and hang-ups and any concerns they've got. We want them to come in and say, hey, you know what, I'm kind of scared to shoot this. I don't know what a 410 is or 20 gauge is, 12 gauge, and just kind of eliminate some of those variables that are things that they've been hesitant on before. And so, but yeah, we'll have live firing on the range. We'll do a turkey shoot, have a pattern contest, and see who can put the most pellets in a turkey target. We're going to have, again, the best gear in the turkey industry. We want to have on hand for these guys to come and to see, and they can sample different calls from different companies, try a variety of different guns from different brands. Again, the 20 gauge and 410 are some of the hottest shotguns now.
Yeah.
With the new opportunities out there in ammunition, we're going to talk about that, the difference in what we've seen in the past and shotgun ammunition to some of this TSS that's available now today that's allowing guys to shoot a smaller gauge gun and yet have some of that same impact that what we once found in a 12 gauge.
Right.
Now we're finding in a 20 gauge and a 410, a much lighter gun. My young boys are able to pack a smaller gun and still reach out and touch them like what you once had to do with a 12 gauge. And
I think
a lot of that.
I think Jason's expecting a delivery shortly on one of those 410s you're speaking of for his son.
It actually delivered the other day.
Oh,
so,
really?
yeah.
Okay, so you got it.
Very
Okay.
nice.
So we've got I got one of the Rossi Toughies, I believe it's called.
Oh, yeah,
turkey gun.
yeah.
So I'm excited to get it out there, and my son's already itching to shoot it. So we get out there and pattern it in and hit the woods this spring. I'm excited.
It's an amazing thing, that little 410. I've always thought and always heard growing up, 40 yards is your range on a turkey. With the 12 gauge, 40 yards is where you want them. And now, again, this ammunition, a lot of people, misuse it and think, oh, I've got this TSS. I can shoot a turkey at 70 or 80 yards. If you're doing that, you're not really doing your job of getting that bird in range where it needs to be.
Right, yeah.
For me, it's about, again, like you're talking about, have a young child that can take that TSS load and shoot a 410. And I shot a turkey at 40 yards with a 410 with a TSS a few years ago. And it's just it's a cool deal, be able to pack a lighter gun, a more enjoyable pack through the woods, but also, again, a young boy, young girl can take that 410 and not be hindered or restricted in any way.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I think the camp's going to be great with all that knowledge you're going to pass on and a chance to get hands on with some of that stuff. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, real quick before we run out of time, tell us a little bit about yourself. Is Hunting Roots your full-time gig? Is that what you do for career? And what, if not, what got you started in what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Outdoor media is my deal. Content creation. I work for a handful of brands in the hunting industry and writing articles, video content, product reviews. I work as editor for bowhunting.com. Website out of Illinois, and just, again, content management and content creation. And
awesome.
Again, just those articles, how-tos, where-tos, all those different things. And for me, it really started back in, I guess, early 2000, 01, 02. Had an outdoor writer here in West Tennessee, asked me if I'd ever done any outdoor writing. And I hadn't at that time, but I'd written paper in college on that first duck hunt, telling that story, that first duck hunt. And that was the story. And that one kind of led to the opportunity to write for a local paper, and did a coyote hunting article in that paper. And then that one turned into another regional magazine, seeing it, picking it up and say, hey, can you do a deer article for us? And again, in those days, it was a $25 article. It was one of those things of, man. And I told my wife, I said, we've hit it big time now. I just got paid $25 for this article. And I thought, man, this is it. This is a career, man. They're paying me $25 or $50. And again, just seeing my name in an article and getting a little check at that time, just as a newlywed, I thought, this is it. This is big stuff. And but those little things, like everything, one led to the next, and the next opportunity to ride, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And I kind of came in early in those, those were obviously print media, but came in more in that digital time period that was hitting off. And so digital media has kind of been where I landed, and I've continued to work. And again, just writing articles, product reviews, videos, and Hunting Roots came in, and that's kind of a side hustle, if you will, and being able to do that on the side and do these camps that supplement some of that work. And so a lot of irons in the fire, but Hunting Roots is definitely, impact-wise, one of the greatest things we have the opportunity to do, just because, again, it's speaking to young people and their families, and just trying to help them establish their hunting roots.
And I think a lot of people can relate to none of us virtually in this industry or business do this to get rich. You know,
That's right.
we do it because we love it, and that's obvious in your message. You know, you got a heart for it, and it's your passion. So if you can make a living doing that, that's awesome. That's really good.
Right.
And I have to say, I am envious of his backdrop. You know, if you're just listening to this show, you gotta watch the video version, because we're doing a virtual interview
today,
here.
yeah.
You know, and but man, Brodie's got a great backdrop. It's got a turkey fan back there and bows hanging, and it's cool looking.
Looks like it might be his studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is definitely my studio, but my wife always said, if you ever turn that camera around where they can see the rest of that mess in your room, you're done.
Hey, I can relate to that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is my office, studio, storage room, hunting stuff. I got deer and duck stuff everywhere piled up, so it's quite a mess. But this is where we make it happen.
That's neat.
Depends on what season it is, what's piled up, right?
Yeah. Right.
That's right.
Well, we are going to run out of time, but I wanted to, if you wouldn't mind, touch on the competition stuff you've done in the past, and we got a few minutes here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the one contest that kind of got things started for me was the NRA Great American Game Calling Challenge World Championship. And it was a contest the NRA was putting on, and I won the World Championship in 2002. And that's kind of got things going. And 7 species contest. We had to call 7 different species of animals. So it's kind of a jack of all trades contest.
Wow.
A lot of fun.
Wow. Well, that's cool. That's awesome. Well, Brodie, appreciate you being with us. Thank you for letting us interview you today and get this word out about this camp. I think it's going to be fun for kids. It's great to introduce young folks to the outdoors. So appreciate what you're doing, and just happy we could help share it.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, thank y'all so much. It's been a privilege and an honor to be on with you guys today, and I really appreciate y'all sharing the story. Thank you so much.
Sure enough.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Keep up the great work.
Yeah. So remember, huntingroots.com, and check them out at Hunting Roots on Facebook and Instagram. And you can check out Brodie Swisher on his social media channels. But just get out there, enjoy the Tennessee great outdoors. And this is Tennessee Wildcast, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, it's all about Tennessee wildlife. It's what we do. Tennessee Wildcast will be on the air again next week. We'll see you then.